Did you know that iNew just released 2 new phones? Well, I knew. Hi YouTube, how's it going? In this video I want to show you the brand new iNew L1 phone that I ordered from efoxshop.com. When you order it, it comes in the typical white iNew box, this time with no specs on the back. It comes with a micro USB data and charging cable, a 5-volt USB wall charger, and last but not least it also comes with some headphones that I never tested. This phone has a 5.3-inch capacitive 5-point multi-touchscreen with a 720 by 1280 HD pixel resolution. It is an IPS display and it also looks like a one-glass solution. It has the MTK6582 Quad-Core CPU inside, which is clocked at 1.3 GHz, and it also has a 6290 for the LTE. It has 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal memory, and it also supports TF cards. It runs on Android 4.4.2 KitKat. It is a Quadband, it is totally unlocked, it supports 3G, and one of the highlights of course is that this phone also supports 4G/LTE on quite a few bands. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, a GPS, a G sensor, a proximity sensor, a light sensor, a magnetic field sensor, and it also has a notification LED which supports red and green only. This phone also supports off-screen gestures and also USB on the go. It has 2 cameras, one main camera with a 13 megapixel output, autofocus, an LED flash, and it is a f2.2, and one front-facing camera with a 5 megapixel output and it's a f2.8, and of course this phone is a dual SIM, dual standby phone. Let's take a closer look at the phone. As you can see, it has the notification LED right here, your front-facing camera and a proximity and light sensor right there. The home, back and menu buttons are soft touch buttons and they light up nicely. On the bottom we find a microphone. On the left side we can see a power button, and this side is actually made out of metal. On the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack and your USB port. On the right side we can see a volume rocker. On the back we have the main camera, your LED flash, a secondary noise reduction microphone and some speakers on the back. And if I can get this open for you, I can show you the inside. On the inside we can see that it takes 2 SIM cards, one regular size SIM card, one micro SIM card. This is where your TF card goes, and this is a 2450 milliamps battery. And this phone is about 8.5 millimeters thick and it weighs about 161 grams. Like always, I installed additional apps and games for demonstration purposes. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment sections below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please stay tuned for more. The stock launcher is quite smooth and snappy, but let's start with some system settings. Let's go into About the Phone. Here you can see that it runs on Android KitKat, and also it supports a system update right here if iNew ever decides to release a over-the-air firmware update. Back into the settings, let's check out the language and input. Those are all the supported languages. What else do we have here? The storage is quite interesting because this phone only has one huge phone storage, so it's not split up. That is good news because you can use the entire memory for installing apps and games. Now here are the smart gestures. So this phone, for example, supports a double tap to wake up the screen, or you can draw different symbols on the screen to start different apps. Let's just give it a try. Let's try a double tap and it's working. Or let's draw a V. That should start the camera and it's working. What else do we have here? I can show you the SIM management. There you can see that it's a dual SIM phone. And if I go into the more settings, the mobile networks, you can see that you can freely choose which one of the SIM cards is supposed to be the data SIM card for the 3G and 4G. Next up, let's go into the engineer mode. Let's check out the band mode, SIM 1. There you have it. Those are your 2G frequencies, those are your 3G frequencies, and here are the LTE modes. It supports band 1, 3, 7, 20, and it also supports band 38. Now let's check out some Google apps. The Play Store comes pre-installed and it works just fine, nothing to worry about. Let's test Google Maps. It found my location right away. Can do a little zooming. Let's try a street view. That is pretty close by. Street view is working fine. But this phone does not have a gyroscope sensor, so the compass mode will not work on Google Maps, but the compass does work. Let's give it a try. As you can see, the magnetic field sensor is working just fine. No, I want to exit. Let's test out YouTube. Let's just load a random video. We can change the position. Of course, we can also watch in full screen. And it's running smoothly, no problem here. Let's test some more sensors. Let's go into the sensor box for Android. No, we don't want to do that. Let's test the accelerometer, also known as the G sensor. Here we have the light sensor. It's pretty dark here. I don't know if I can get a reading, but you can trust me, it's working. Orientation sensor, also working fine. Proximity sensor, working. What else do we have here? We have a sound sensor. We have a microphone on the bottom. We also have a secondary microphone on the back. As I already mentioned, the gyroscope sensor is not working. And we also can test the magnetic field sensor right here, and it's getting readings. Let's check out more system infos by starting CPU Z. Those are your 4 cores and it's clocked at 1.3 GHz maximum, and it has the Mali 400MP GPU. More system infos right here. Battery and again the sensors. Let's do some benchmarks. Let's see what Antutu has to say. Phone scores at around 18,000 points, which is normal for this SoC. Let's check out some details. You can also check some device information again right here. There you have it. Let's exit. Let's do more benchmarks. Let's try Ninamark to check out the GPU. And of course I'm gonna do a jump cut. Almost done. And it scores at 55.8 frames per second. One more benchmark. Let's try Quadron Standard. Run full benchmark. And I have another jump cut coming. and the score is 6,423 points. Let's test the gallery. Let's just go into my wallpaper folder, check out some pictures. Looking fine. And I don't know if you can see this, but the colors are really good on this display. Let's test a video to see how smooth it's running. I'm gonna use my standard 1080p video right here. And it's running smoothly, nothing to complain about. Great viewing angles. Let's get out of there and let's check out the browser. Let me go into my bookmarks and let's start with BBC. There we have it. Sorry, my bad. Again, let's load BBC. And zooming is not a problem. Rotation speed is fast. But let's load a little more complex side. Let's load CNN. And let us load the desktop side to see if this phone can also handle larger websites. And that is not a problem at all. Zooming, rotation speed, nothing to complain about. Let's test the camera real fast. There you have it. We can also test the Wi-Fi strength. Let's see what we have here. Of course, this doesn't tell you anything, so let's just compare it to my Xiaomi Mi 4. So you can see the Wi-Fi strength is actually very good on the iNew. Last but not least, we can also test the USB on the go. Let me just hook up my thumb drive. Let's wait for it, and it mounted. Let's go into the file manager, and there you have it. This is the external USB storage. Let me just load a picture. Open it in the gallery, and it's working just fine. Now let me tell you what I'm thinking about this phone. Some thoughts about this device. I really like the build quality and I also really like the design. The display is good, not very good. A Full HD resolution would have been better, but of course this SoC does not support Full HD. The Wi-Fi is also good. The GSM reception I would rate as normal. The GPS reception is quite strong. I was very pleasantly surprised. And the LED flash is definitely above average. The camera is not so good. It takes decent pictures in a close to a mid-range, but anything in the far distance will be out of focus. I don't know if this is a software bug or not, but right now it doesn't look that good. If you're interested in the picture quality, please make sure to check out some sample pictures on my blog. Just follow the About the Phone link in the video's descriptions. Last but not least, I'll try to show you the viewing angles of this phone and do a little gaming. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time.